am Jina Etienne. I am a CPA, and I'm also a certified diversity executive. My pronouns are she, her. I am in Maryland, which is just north of Washington, D.C., and I still think of myself as a recovering CPA. I was in practice for 20-something years, and today I work with accounting firms and organizations in the accounting industry and helping build inclusive cultures where people feel safe and there's psychological safety, there's intentionality around the cultures and the experiences that organizations want to have for their people. How did I come to this work? Well, my whole accounting career I describe as plinko. I just went to college and then bing, 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 bing. And over the course of the years, I went this way, then that way, then this way, then that way, and here I am. Accounting is not what people think it is. I can't tell you how many times when I meet somebody and they, you're a CPA, oh, you must be good at math, you must be good with numbers. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because accounting isn't math. If we can dig ourselves out of this stereotype, I'm going to say we've won something as an industry and as a profession, because accounting is systems and policies and practices that they are represented by numbers, but we don't do numbers. Our work tells stories. And so that's why I think this work is universal and important. I have never left public accounting, but I went from just generically identifying as a CPA and doing the technical work all the way to where I am today, which is understanding the experience of what does it feel like to work here? And I mean that for every one of us. I don't want to say D&I because I'm not focused on the minorities. I want to know what it feels like for all of us to work here and really give that some thought. At our very core, we are people working with people to help people. So we are very much a people business, but we don't use those words. We don't talk about it that way. I bring my lived experience in this industry to my job and to my work every day. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not white and I am not male. I am cisgender. English is my first language. I grew up in an area where I have some degree of financial, I want to say privilege. So there's some barriers that I didn't have, and there are other ones I did experience. And I share those in this industry, talking to others who did not necessarily have my experience. And I've learned from others and they've learned from me. But the hardest part of this work is you got to be willing to share your story. So I think to get into this work, it's those couple of things. It's find what calls you, raise your hand and volunteer, and start thinking about storytelling. How can you share your story? And then how does that tie into the work you want to do? The rest sort of happens naturally. Oh, I do think my superpower is ideation and creativity. It is being able to take an idea and another idea and a different idea and actually see connections between them and then imagine things that can come from them. That does require some bravery because at some point you get your feelings hurt. You're sharing with people ideas that sometimes they look at you like that makes no sense. I have no idea where you're coming from. What does that have to do with me, kind of thing? And sometimes it's okay. You are now seen as a thought leader. And other times people just say, yeah, that's just Jina. And then years later, they're like, oh, that's what you were talking about. So I've had to learn to explain and articulate that better. The bravery behind that, the vulnerability behind that, it's been a barrier for me in the past because I didn't have a language for it. I didn't know that's what it was called, the thing that my brain does. But I've learned I would rather share my idea than hold it in, if it can help somebody. And if it's not, what did it cost me? It cost me an idea. My name is Jina Etienne, and I am an agent of transformation.